When you're ranked #1 in education by U.S. News and World Report, which we were.
During a press conference to sign several controversial new education measures into law earlier this month.
We're already now #1 in education overall.
Florida's top politicians and education leaders all used the moment to praise the state's latest distinction.
Florida's #1 in education, according to U.S. News and World Report.
For the 7th year in a row, U.S. News and World Report dubbed the Sunshine State #1 for higher education.
Guys, how about that news? 7 years in a row.
The head of the state's university system recently interpreting the recognition to his board like this.
It is a testament to our trajectory and the work that we're doing and the impact that we're having. It's working.
But a closer look at the details behind these rankings had us wondering what it all really means. And if this #1 higher ed title is really an indication college students are getting the best of it here.
U.S. News ranked Florida #1 for higher education. Sounds amazing, is it?
No. You got a positive Yelp review. That's in essence what you just got.
Akil Bello is director at the National Center for Fair and Open Testing, a group that advocates against the misuse of standardized testing. He's also a vocal critic of U.S. News and World Report ranking systems, using Twitter to call the rankings, quote, terrible and wrong.
They're using metrics that no one would actually want to measure if you were looking at education.
According to its website, U.S. News' education rankings are measured using a limited number of metrics. Graduation rates, cost of tuition, debt at graduation, and the number of citizens in each state who hold a college degree.
Are you going to choose a college based on the number of people with associate's degrees or better that live in the community around it? What does that have to do with the college itself?
But what about grad rates? Isn't that a reflection of learning?
No, most of the people who end up not graduating are because they didn't have the funding to continue. So unless you disaggregate those who academically didn't graduate from those who financially couldn't graduate, you're not actually saying anything.
The U.S. News and World Report rankings are pretty narrowly focused.
But Andrew Spar, head of Florida's largest teachers union, isn't writing off the rankings, which deemed the state's pre-K through 12 education system number 14 nationally. While that measurement was also limited to metrics like grad rates, they did include some 8th grade test results and college readiness exams.
I wouldn't say I don't take it seriously. I take it for what it is.
In a press release, Florida's Department of Education described the rankings as measuring the overall quality of each state's education system. The Florida education model stands alone as a shining example for all other states to follow, Florida's education commissioner added. But if these rankings speak to the quality of education students get here,
basically somebody just called Florida pretty.
Critic Akil Bello advises you look somewhere else.
One of the problems with politicians endorsing these rankings is that they're misleading the public.
When you're ranked #1 in education,
they're suggesting that these rankings are providing real information about the quality of education when in truth they're not.
A spokesperson from U.S. News and World Report tells me they designed the framework for these rankings with a third party, and the metrics were selected in collaboration with experts. The company's education rankings have fueled controversy before. Its popular law school rankings underwent a series of revisions this year over concerns about its metrics. I'm Katie LaGrone reporting.